Welcome everyone. Let's begin our lesson for today by going over our learning goals and success criteria. First, what are we learning? We're learning how to use logarithms to solve exponential functions and to use logarithmic properties to simplify logarithmic expressions. How are we learning it? Through the logarithmic properties notes and logarithmic properties assignment. When can we use this? To calculate your daily income based on your overall salary. How do you know you learned it? By getting a score of 4 on the logarithmic properties assignment. Now let's take a look at our agenda for today. We will begin by going over our learning goals and success criteria. While we do that, you'll fill out your Get It Started. Once you've completed your Get It Started, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. After that, we'll go over the logarithmic properties notes, and then I'll give you time to complete the logarithmic properties assignment on Desmos. Once you've completed the assignment, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. At the end of class, we'll go back over our learning goals and success criteria while you fill out your Before You Go. Your only homework for tonight is to continue working on the Reasoning with Irrational Numbers study guide and any incomplete assignments that you may have. Let's take a look now at the logarithmic properties notes. Our notes begin with our learning goals and success criteria. First, what is a logarithm? A logarithm is a mathematical operation that determines how many times a certain number, called the base, is multiplied by itself to reach another number. So it's just another way of doing an exponential function. So this sounds like the similar definition to an exponent. So how do we rewrite logarithms as powers? So we have log base 3 of 9. That's the way we read this, so log base 3 of 9. So in order to simplify this expression, we must rewrite as a power. So really what this means is we're saying 3 to some power, which we don't know, is equal to 9. So how many times do we multiply 3 by itself to get 9? Well, we know we multiply 3 times 3 to get 9, so that's 3 times itself twice. So x then is equal to 2. Now we have log base 2 of 4. So we need to rewrite that as a power. So really this is saying 2 to some power is equal to 4. So we rewrite that as 2 to the x power is equal to 4. Well, we know that 2 times itself twice equals 4, right? Because 2 times 2 is 4. So x in this case would be 2. All right, so let's actually simplify a few of these. So it says log base 3 of 27. So we're going to rewrite that as 3 to the x power is equal to 27. So we don't know what x is yet. So we're saying that 3 times itself a certain number of times equals 27. Well, in this case, we can see that 3 times 3 times 3 equals 27. So that's 3 to the third power. So in this case, x equals 3. Now, log base 2 of 16. So that's really saying 2 to the x power is equal to 16. So how many times do we need to multiply 2 times itself to get 16? So if we go 2 times 2, that's 4. Times 2 is 8. Times 2 is 16. So that was 4 times we multiplied. So x equals 4. Let's talk now about how we can change the base of a logarithm. So we have log base a of b. And let's say we wanted to change the base to c. Well, what we do is we just make it c. So we're going to change our log base to c. And that's equal to log base c of b over log base c of a. So we can change the base anytime we want to anything we want to as long as we follow this formula. Let's look at an example. So we have log base 3 of 18. Let's say we want to change the log base to 9. The way we do it is we would change this to log base 9 of b, which is 18, over log base 9 of a, which is 3. So it should look something like this. And then we can simplify. Now, let's look at this one. This one says log base 4 of 48. So let's say we want to change it to log base 8. So we would change this to be log base 8 of 48, which is b, over log base 8 of a. So log base 8 of a would be 8 of 4. So we end up with log base 8 of 48 over log base 8 of 4. So this is how we can change the base of any logarithm. Now, logarithm expressions using substitution. So let's say we were told that log base 3 of 8 is equal to a and log base 2 of 3 is equal to b. And we're asked to rewrite log base 3 of 16 in terms of a and b. So in this case, we already have something that looks kind of like this, right? We already have log base 3. So we're just going to leave it as it is and don't change the base. And we're just going to see if we can simplify this. Well, what we should notice here is that we have log base 3 of 16. Well, that's kind of close to log base 3 of 8, right? That's really 8 times 2. So let's go ahead and change this to be 8 times 2. That way we can pull out that log base 3 of 8. So really, when we rewrite this, we can say that log base 3 of 8 plus log base 3 of 2 is equal to the same thing as this. So now we have log base 3 of 8, which in this case is a. So we can rewrite that as a. So that's a plus log base 3 of 2. Now, we're not allowed to leave anything saying log because it has to be in terms of a and b only. Because it has to be in terms of a and b only, it can have numbers attached, but it's got to be in terms of a and b and any integers. We can't have anything that says log. So we get to here and we can see that we run into a roadblock, right? 3 can't be multiplied by itself any number of times to get 2, so we can't get an integer. It doesn't look like this, but it does look similar. So if we change the base to base 2, we'll be kind of close. So let's go ahead and do that. So this will be log base 2 of b, which is 2, over log base 2 of a, which is 3. So now we should notice that 2 to the first power is equal to 2. So this is really a 1. And this here is b, right? Because log base 2 of 3 is b. So this is just 1 over b. So now we rewrote it in terms of a and b. So this is a plus 1 over b. Let's look at another example. We have log base 3 of 1/2. So we start with log base 3 of 1/2. That looks kind of like this, but with the wrong base. But let's go ahead and rewrite this. So this is really division, so we can rewrite that as 1 divided by 2, which then we can break up into subtraction. So this is log base 3 of 1 minus log base 3 of 2. Well, log base 3 of 1 is really just 0, right? Because anything to the 0 power equals 1. So this is really 0 minus log base 3 of 2, which again looks very similar to b, but we have the wrong base, so we need to change the base. So this is really negative log base 3 of 2, and we're going to rewrite that with a change of base. So when we change the base to 2, this is log base 2 of a, which is 2, over log base 2 of a, which is 3. So now 2 to the first power is equal to 2, so this is 1. And this is really just b, so this is negative 1 over b. So that's how we can use the substitution to solve these things. Now there's a video here that shows you how to check your logarithms using Symbol Lab, so you can watch this video as you need. Let's talk now about how to use the logarithmic equation calculator to check your work when dealing with logarithms. So let's say that we were given log base 2 of 8. So log base 2 of 8, and we needed to solve this. Well, we can go ahead and enter that in and click go, and it tells me exactly what the answer is. It says log base 2 of 8 is 3, and it gives me steps to show me exactly how that works. So that's one way you can check just a simple logarithmic equation. Now let's say there was more to it. So let's say it was log base 2 of 8 plus log base 3 of 9. Well, we can go ahead and click go again. And this time it tells me that the answer is 5 because log base 2 of 8 is 3 and log base 3 of 9 is 2. So therefore the answer is 5. We can also do something like this. Log base 2 of 32 and click go. We can also do something like this, log base 2 of 40, and click go. And this time it'll tell us, it gives us a decimal answer, but it also will tell us, using the log rule, that it's 3 plus log base 2 of 5. So we can do it that way as well. And this is how you can check your work using the logarithmic equation calculator on Symbaloo.com. Let's talk now about how to sign in to Desmos to complete your work. So what we're going to do is you're going to click on the link to go to the assignment, and it should take you to a page that looks kind of like this. And right here where it says sign in with Google, we're going to click there. And it's going to pop up with our email accounts. You're going to click on your school email account, and it should already have you logged in because you should have already been logged in using Google Classroom. From there, I'm just going to click start the activity, and it will take me into the assignment and allow me to begin. So that's how you will log in to Desmos using Google. Let's take a look now at the Logarithmic Properties assignment. The assignment begins with our learning goals and success criteria. If we scroll down, there's a link here to take us to the Desmos activity. Go ahead and click on that link, and it should take you to a page that looks like this. Go ahead and click start the activity. The assignment begins with our learning goals and success criteria. We'll click next, and it gives us log base 3 of 8 equals A and log base 2 of 3 equals B, and says how can we represent the following in terms of A and B. So we have log base 3 of 16. Well, what we should notice is that log base 3 of 16 is the same thing as log base 3 of 8 plus log base 3 of 2, because when we multiply 8 times 2 we get 16, and we can break that up into addition. So this is really just A, so we're going to change that to say A. And then log base 3 of 2, well, we need to change that because it does look similar to this, but the base is wrong. We get log base 2 of 2 over log base 2 of 3, which in this case log base 2 of 2 is just 1 because 2 to the first power is 1. And log base 2 of 3 is really just B. So we get A plus 1 over B. And we'll do that for each of these. So we'll break it down until we can get it to either be an integer or an A or B. And we'll do that for that one. And then we'll go click next. And now we're going to solve this system for A, B, and C. So we'll go ahead and answer these questions. And then when we're done with that, we'll go back to our Google form and click next. This will take you to your before you go. Go ahead and fill out your before you go and then submit your work on Google Classroom.